Hi, I'm Chris. Thanks for spending some time with me today. So this is another one of those kind of side dish holiday special sort of menu options. And this is, I had always made creamed potatoes, not mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes I do make on a regular basis, but when it was holiday time, I usually always make creamed potatoes, which is a creamier, you kind of mash them all up, it gets smooth and silky, and then you end up adding some juice to it, and it kind of continues cooking. So that was what I always made. I usually make it during the holidays, maybe one other time. And then I saw, when I was traveling, I saw a baked mashed potato that Pioneer Woman had done. And it basically was a mashed potatoes that she mixed with sour cream and cheese and onion, other things, and then baked it in the oven, and it kind of poofed all up. It was kind of like a creamy mashed potatoes. And I thought, I wonder if I can merge these two together. So that's where this came from. It's kind of that idea. The other great thing, I'm all about being able to make things the day before, because if you're trying to cook for a holiday, it's really hard to do everything in the same day. So this is something you can do the night before, put in the refrigerator, and have. So yeah, this is my take on a mashed potato casserole. This recipe combines a bunch of yummy ingredients together. So right now, I have my potatoes that have been chopped, and I'm waiting for them to come to a boil. Once they've come to a boil, I'm going to add the cauliflower in there. The cauliflower doesn't take quite as long as the potatoes take to cook, so that's when you put that in there. So this is going to have lots of yummy ingredients in them. One of them is going to be caramelized onions, which I actually made up yesterday. And let me show you how I did that. Caramelizing onions is super simple. Doesn't matter if you want to do 2, 4, 6, 8, same process no matter how many you do. You slice your onions up fairly thin. You want to heat your oil up, not a lot, 1 to 2 tablespoons at the most in the pan on about medium-low heat. Add your onions. Give them a zhuzh in the pan. Want to make sure all nice and coated with that oil. And then you wait. This process will probably take about a half hour to 40 minutes total to get them to the color and density that I like. A lot of people talk about adding sugar to it, but you really don't need to. The only thing we're going to add along the way is water. Every so often, you're just going to want to give it a zhuzh. You can see that it's already starting to build up color on the bottom. Then, add a couple tablespoons of water, scraping up that bottom. You'll repeat this several times until it gets the consistency that you like. The other item is caramelized garlic. It's another simple process. This is something you can just keep in the fridge. I made this up yesterday as well, and I'll show you how. Roasting garlic is super simple. You basically just want to trim the heads off of the garlic. Not even much of it. Put it on a foil-lined sheet. Drizzle a little olive oil over them. little salt. Close up your packets. Roast at a 400-degree oven for about 40 minutes or so. So you'll know this is done. One, you can smell it. It just smells wonderful in here. You can see how this caramelization has happened around the outside of there, and they're starting to pop a little out of their bulbs. So what I'll do is I'll wait for this to cool down. Once it's cooled down, I will pop those out of the bulbs into a glass jar, and they will stay in a glass jar for probably a couple of weeks. So you can use them as you'd like. So along with the potatoes and cauliflower, we'll end up putting it all in the bowl, adding Greek yogurt. I use Greek yogurt instead of yogurt in this, not yogurt, but instead of sour cream. We've learned not to tell the difference, so that's what works for us. Of course, the caramelized onions and garlic, some cream cheese, some Swiss cheese, and cream. I'll end up blending that all together in the mixer until it's fluffy and creamy. So here it is in a casserole dish. At this point, you could put it in the freezer, put it in the refrigerator and take it out the next day. So it's a make-ahead meal, which is always a good thing in my mind. Before I put it in the oven, what I'll do is I'll sprinkle panko all over the top and then bake it at 350 for about 45 minutes until the top starts kind of getting crumbly, brown on the top. If you were doing this with multiple items in your oven, you probably would want to wait 350 for an hour to hour and 15 minutes. And make sure that if you do leave it in the refrigerator overnight, that you let your pan come to room temperature before you stick it in the oven.